Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Coronation Street's Imogen star Melissa Johns marries long-term love in dream ceremony. This isn't how I expected to feel, confesses Melissa Johns, as she sits down for a chat just days after her stunning Herefordshire wedding to Dan Hampton. It turns out that the former Coronation Street actress, who is best known for her role as Imogen Pascoe on the iconic soap, is simply overwhelmed by her newfound marital bliss. I know it sounds really weird, but what I mean is, I just feel absolutely wonderful, the 34-year-old told OK. I just thought it was going to be a wedding day and a party. I didn't expect to feel such an unbelievable change in myself and my relationship. It's bizarre to feel like you just fell in love with someone all over again. It's just wonderful. The beautiful ceremony took place against the stunning backdrop of the 14th-century Brinsup Court manor house and barn on 11 October, a day Melissa describes as perfect. The bride looked radiant in a strapless fishtail gown with a fitted corset and bead embellishments, while her groom, a 36-year-old transport planning consultant, looked dapper in a three-piece tweed suit and paisley tie, reports Oak. Melissa, who was born without half of her right arm, shares the profound significance of saying "I do." Because of having one arm and looking very different to other people growing up, when I was young, I wasn't necessarily sure getting married was something that would happen for me, Melissa says. People do comment on it and question whether you'll find love or get married, simply because of the way you look or because you're disabled. So, because of the way I grew up, our special day meant a million times more to me. But for Melissa, the pinnacle was the moment before she walked down the aisle. The most special moment for me was turning around the corner into the aisle and seeing the faces of all our friends and family. Then they all blurred into one, and there was Dan at the end of the aisle. There were people I've been friends with since I was 5 or 6 years old, people I share the screen with, and my family, all in one space. I hope that moment stays with me for the rest of my life, she gushes. She chose to walk down the aisle to Clinton Kane's "I Guess I'm in Love," explaining, "It's a beautiful, beautiful song, and there was a particular part of the song I wanted to walk down to." But all the bridesmaids had already gone, and in that moment, it felt like I was waiting too long for it. I said to my wedding planner, "Amelia, shall I just go now? I think everyone is waiting." She said, "No, Melissa. You have imagined walking down the aisle to that part of the song, and you'll walk down to that. People can wait for another 20 seconds. I'm grateful for that." After the wait was over and the vows were exchanged, Melissa and Dan celebrated in grand style with a magical first dance, an outdoor champagne shower, and a night filled with laughter. Among the guests were several of Melissa's on-screen colleagues, including Coronation Street stars Cherry Houston and Bhavna Bachia. Melissa, also known for her role as Jennifer Scott in the popular ITV series Grantchester, was also joined by her co-star Bradley Hall. Melissa and Dan are all loved up following their delightful mini-moon in Sicily, thanks to Emmerdale stars Laura Norton and her partner Mark Jordan. Sharing the details of their romantic getaway, Melissa enthuses, Mark and Laura have been holding the Cure Usher Ball, which raises money for research into Usher syndrome, for the last few years. Last year, Dan and I won this trip to Sicily in the silent auction, so cheers for that, both. The couple's official honeymoon is set to happen later in St. Lucia. After a 2-year courtship, Dan proposed to Melissa in June 2023, with both having come out of serious relationships just 1 year prior to meeting. Reflecting on their union, Melissa says, "I always assumed I'd meet the person I was going to be with in my 20s. But actually, I couldn't be happier I met Dan in my 30s.